Hello everyone. So today I'm going to do a video going over several things that you can do. Some of them, most of them are very, very small things you can do when you're taking care of your plants that will increase their health and help them thrive and live longer for you in your home. So the first thing, the main thing I feel is just removing dead leaves, any kind of dead foliage from the plant itself, or leaves that are starting to die, like yellowing leaves, that sort of thing, crisping up leaves. I believe that even yellowing leaves, they tend to still be pulling energy and fuel from the rest of the plant, even though they're on their way out. So I'd rather get rid of them, and I feel like that leaves more energy for the plant to put into upsizing its leaves and also growing new leaves to replace the one that is on its way out. Also, as far as dead foliage, you want to make sure that there's nothing that's fallen off your plant into the soil line. You see my soil has nothing like that in there. When that happens, you let that stuff kind of build up on the soil line between where the plant meets the soil and the plant itself. It leads to a decrease in circulation, which can lead to mold issues. It can lead to an area where pests can kind of get cozy in there and start multiplying and get a good hold on your plant before you realize you have a pest issue. So it's always better to get rid of that stuff, no matter what type of plant you have, and it will help keep your plant more pest-free and keep their energy and their health levels better. The next thing is pruning your plant. It doesn't matter if it's a begonia or a pothos or a jade plant. I have a begonia here, I have my pothos, and I also have a jade plant. So it doesn't really matter what type of plant you have. If you prune them back, they will grow and they will grow bigger, especially with jade plants. If you cut here, like you see I cut here, there was a cut right there. It grew 2 stems from where it was cut. So if you want a fuller plant, you definitely want to be pruning your plants, no matter what type of plant you have. It will increase the growth in your plant. It will put more energy in those areas to kind of bush out, especially with pothos. I was so scared when I first got back into plants that cutting the plant was going to hurt the plant and be detrimental to it. And it really has proven to be very beneficial to all my plants. The one thing you do want to make sure that you do when you are pruning your plants is sterilizing your shears in between going between your plants. I use 70% alcohol. I just rub the shears really well down with that, let it dry, and then I move on to the next plant. Because you might have something going on in a certain plant. Let's say this plant has some kind of bacterial issue that you don't know it has yet. It hasn't reared its ugly head on its leaves, and then you don't sterilize those shears, and you come over and let's say you cut off a dead leaf off of this begonia. You've transferred it from one plant to the other. So that's one thing that's really important. The only true thing you can do to a plant as far as pruning that can lead to it being detrimental to the plant. Another thing that I am not always good at, I'm good at it with certain plants more than other plants, is rotating your plants. I would say on a weekly basis, maybe a 90-degree rotation relative to where the light source is. That makes sure that your plant grows even. And you see this one here has even growth around all the sides, and that's because it has been rotated on a weekly basis relative to its light source. I have not been as good with my silver mist begonia. You see she's all nice and full here, and you turn her around and she is empty. That's because the light source is on one side of her and the other side of her is not getting as much light. So she's not putting as much energy on growth on that side. I mean, it makes sense, right? If your food source is here, the source where you're gonna get the stuff you need to make food is over here, you're gonna put more of your energy on that side than this side that you're not getting that source met, so to speak. So it'll keep your plants growing nice and even. Like this jade plant, I really have to be on top of it with her and rotating her. You see she's full on all sides. And that's because I rotate her every single week. I rotate her, making sure that I keep a different side towards the window that she sits in. The next thing is, and I am guilty of this, I don't bottom water. But if you have a collection and you have the time to bottom watering is probably the best thing for your plants. It lets your plants decide how much water it needs relative to the soil saturation. Once it has what it needs, where the roots are going to be more towards the bottom of the planter. That's just how plants grow their roots. It's going to get what it needs, and that's going to stop. And then you can just get rid of the excess. That will keep you from overwatering your plants, which would be a good thing for me because I tend to be an overwaterer. However, I get away from that because I have so many plants, and it would just take such a long period of time to go around and water them all, let them soak up everything, and then have to go back through the whole collection again. See, are you still soaking that up? Maybe you're not. Oh, you need more. Okay, I'll come back. It would take me hours to water my plants that way. So what I do is I do top water my plants, which has set me up for, more of a, I would say, a fungus gnat issue, because fungus gnats, they love moisture to lay their eggs in. And if you have that first inch or two of soil where they like to lay their eggs moist, you get one fungus gnat, it's gonna lay 100 eggs. Those are gonna hatch in a week to 14 days, and then you're gonna have those 100 are gonna lay another 100 eggs, each one of them, and before you know it, you have a situation on your hands. So if you do bottom water, the advantage is it gives the plants the opportunity to take what they want and leave the rest behind. That way you don't overwater, and it also keeps that top inch or two of soil drier where there are less roots, and you will be less likely to have a fungus gnat issue. And as you all know, fungus gnats are the spawn of Satan. They will buzz around you and drive you absolutely insane. They will buzz around your plants, and you know they're up to no good. Just breeding, and just making more and more and more. It can get out of control. So anything you can do to help keep that number down as far as in your plant collection, fungus gnat wise, is a good thing. It also keeps your roots from getting rot, because again, they're taking what they want as far as moisture, and then they're stopping. It's kind of a wick type of system for them. Let's see, what else? Air circulation. Air circulation is so important for plants and plant health in general. If you have a stagnant air situation around your plants, it leads them to increased fungus issues, because all plants will glutinate, where if they have extra water in their circulatory system at night, they will kind of sweat it out, so to speak, to get rid of that extra water. And it will just sit on the leaves. It's less likely to evaporate if you have plants on top of plants, right? It's less airflow for it to be able to go through the leaves of the plants and evaporate that moisture, which leads to issues with fungus and mold, and that's just not healthy for your plants. Also, if you have them very, very close together, that can lead to one plant having a pest and just kind of like walking over to the next plant because the leaves are touching each other, and now you have 2 plants, 3 plants, 4 plants, whatever grouping you have together, times 6 sometimes. They all can get infected with the same pest. So there's many reasons you want to keep, fans going, any kind of circulation of air going in your home, because it simulates what they would get in their natural environment in nature. air goes by, the wind, and just moves their leaves and helps them, you know, dry off any kind of liquid that might be on the top of their leaves. It's a benefit to them and helps them stay healthy. You also want to make sure that you, at least once a month, somehow clean off your leaves, whether it's dusting them with like a very fine cloth with some moisture on it to get the dust off the leaves. It doesn't matter if it's this type of leaf or it's a more succulent type leaf like you would have in a jade plant. This surface is the window to their system where they have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is how they make the fuel they need to survive and thrive. So if you have stuff covering that surface, they're getting less of that sun into the cells that they need relative to that chlorophyll to make the fuel they need to be able to maintain their size and grow. So it's gonna be more of a struggle for them. So you always wanna make sure that you're going through. I bought a special shower head for all my showers that actually has a filter in it that filters all the bad things out and just gives me almost like a drinkable water out of my system. It takes out all the minerals, all the salts, all the chemicals. So I just give them a good shower. I will hold off the week that I'm gonna clean them. I clean my whole collection once a month, and I will let them get a little extra drier and hold off on giving them water, and then I can water them at the same time I am just giving them a good shower. And if you have sensitive leaves on plants like your calathea, you do want to wipe off the moisture as much as you can, give it a good shake, whatnot, and now you have clean leaves that will promote the maximum amount of chlorophyll and sun coming together and making fuel for your plant. You also want to make sure that you're getting them the right type of light, not grouping them on top of each other to the point where some parts of your plant is not getting the light that it needs as well. That's another reason that you really want to try and keep your plants at least separated, maybe an inch or two apart, so the whole entire plant can get the light that it needs, the air that it needs, and the space that it needs to be able to grow. And if you do those things, they're little things throughout the week, caring for your plants, you will be surprised how much your plants are going to survive. Not only survive, I'm going to take that back, they are going to thrive and give you an explosion of healthy growth throughout the spring and summer season. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions regarding any issues you might be having with your plants relative to their health, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. If you have any other suggestions regarding things that you do that you've seen really benefit your plants and their health, feel free to leave that in the comments as well. I always learn so much from you guys, as I hope you learn so much from me. We're a plant community and we have to stick together for the happiness of our plants. So until next time, don't forget to give your plants lots of planty love.